How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. This is going to be my Week 14 NFL Power Rankings. You know, some teams go up, some teams go down. If you've seen Power Rankings before, you know the drill, so we'll hop right into it with number 10. For the first time this season, I got the Dallas Cowboys on the Power Rankings. And, they had 3 wins in a row. First one against the Raiders, which was kind of whatever. Then they beat the Eagles. And then they beat the Chiefs. So they beat the 2 teams that played in the Super Bowl last year in a span of 4 days. So that's some crazy good shit right there. And they have a very big game tomorrow against the Detroit Lions. And if they can win that game, honestly, I think they're going to make the playoffs. And their offense has been great all year. And their defense is actually starting to play really well too. So the Cowboys, they're starting to finally put the pieces together. So I'm happy for them. I'm happy for Dak Prescott. And we'll see what happens with the whole NFC East because the Cowboys are trending up, Eagles are trending down. So we'll see if they can catch them. But for right now, they're sitting at number 10. All right, and at number 9, we got another new team from Texas as well. We got the Houston Texans. The Texans this last week, were able to beat the Colts. And the week before that, they beat the Bills. And I believe the week before that, they also beat the Jags from a come from behind victory, which looks really good in hindsight, considering the Jags are actually leading the AFC South right now. But yeah, that's a huge win for the Texans to beat the Colts. And now they're genuinely in the division race. And we'll see what happens in the upcoming weeks. But for right now, they're sitting at number 9. All right, and sitting at number 8, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars, moving up 1 spot from last week. And yeah, they absolutely dominated the Tennessee Titans, which was about what I expected them to do. But, you know, it's always good to beat who's in front of you, never apologize for winning. And yeah, they won with authority, and that's probably the best thing they could have done. They didn't have any injuries in that game. Trevor Lawrence looked really good. The defense looked really good. And granted, the Titans are not a good team, but, you know, it's better to win than lose against teams that are bad, obviously. So yeah, because of that, I got the Jags sitting at number 8. All right, sitting at number 7, we have the San Francisco 49ers. They're moving up 1 spot from last week after beating the Browns, which I know it's the Browns. They're not a good team, but the offense looked really good against a team that has a genuine great defense. So it was good for the 49ers to get that win, not sustain any injuries, kind of like the Jags. Like, you know, a win's a win, and you'll never apologize for a win. And they have a bye week next week, and they will be going up in the seeding because currently they're the 7 seed, but the number 1 seed Bears and the number 6 seed Packers play each other next week, and one of those teams will lose, which will automatically put the 49ers above them. So they're sitting pretty right now, and I think they'll definitely make the playoffs. And despite how injured this team is and how they've been throughout this year, it's been one hell of a year for them, and honestly, I'm proud of them. You know, it's not easy to have a good season like this with all the injuries they've sustained. But you know what? They're sitting at number 7, and we'll see how they do from here. All right, and at number 6, we have the Green Bay Packers. And this is definitely a big jump. They were at 10 last week after beating the Vikings, but then they beat the Lions on Thanksgiving, and I'm jumping them up 4, and I know it's a lot, but my reasoning behind it is the 49ers and Jags, they had great wins, but they weren't against the greatest opponents. But the Lions are a genuine, great opponent. I mean, they don't have the best record right now, but they're still a really damn good team. And, it's always good to beat your division rival, and it being a team like the Lions, I mean, the Packers were able to sweep them this year, so good for them for doing that. And right now they're the 6th seed, but if they win next week against the Bears, I believe they will jump up to the 1 seed. So yeah, good for the Packers, and they're sitting at number 6. All right, sitting at number 5, we have the Chicago Bears. Last week they were at number 7, and my biggest critique with the Bears all year has been that they haven't beaten anybody good, which to be fair is kind of out of their control because they haven't really played anyone that's that good besides the Lions in week 2 where they got crushed. But they certainly proved me wrong. They beat the Eagles, and not only did they beat them, they were pretty dominant in that game. They ran the ball. I had 2 players rush for over 120 yards against the Eagles defense, which is actually pretty good. And it was a great win for the Bears. And as of right now, they're currently the 1 seed in the NFC. So really good for them. This is probably the best season Bears fans ever could have hoped for, and I'm happy for them. And they're sitting at number 5 after dismantling the Philadelphia Eagles. All right, sitting at number 4, we have the Los Angeles Rams. Now, they're taking a bit of a tumble because they lost to the Panthers. And the Panthers, to be fair, are actually a pretty good team. But, when you lose and you're the number 1 team, it's going to inevitably drop you down a lot. And that was shocking. I mean, Matthew Stafford turned the ball over a lot. The only thing they really could look forward to from that game was the fact that Puka Nacua had one of the greatest catches of the season. But, I mean, that happened a lot this week, so maybe not. But, they're not number 4. They lost the 1 seed to the Chicago Bears since the Rams lost, the Bears won. And, we'll see how they play next week. But, it was a rough one to lose because they weren't able to hang on to that 1 seed. They might not win their division either because it is very competitive. But we'll see what happens in the near future. But for right now, I have them sitting at number 4. All right, sitting at number 3, you got the Denver Broncos. They're staying at number 3 because that's where they were last week. And they won. And don't get me wrong, I'm happy they won. But, oh my gosh, they need to play better. If they want to win a playoff game or even win our division, we got to start playing better. It should not take overtime to beat the Washington Commanders. Now, don't get me wrong, the Washington Commanders played a hell of a game. I'm not trying to take anything away from them, but they were 3-8, now 3-9 for a reason. They're very injured, and we really should not have let it get to that point. And we need to clean this up if we want to do anything this year when it comes to the playoffs. But you know what? The facts are the facts. We've won 9 in a row. If we can win next week against the Las Vegas Raiders, we'll recapture that number 1 seed since the Patriots will be on a bye week and we have tiebreaker over them. And I'm glad we won, but let's make it a little less scary next time, okay? All right, sitting at number 2, we have the Seattle Seahawks. Last week they were at number 4, and they beat the Titans last week. And that game, Sam Darnold and JSN looked really good. And the last game they played was against the Vikings, and their defense looked really good. They won 26-0, and granted, it's the Vikings, and they were starting an undrafted free agent at quarterback. But you know what? The defense looked really good. You can't take away how well they played. And the reason they're above the Broncos, because I was thinking about this, is they also did not play a great opponent, but they at least took care of business in a more thorough manner than what the Broncos did. And that definitely matters when I'm doing power rankings. I mean, they took care of a team the way that they should have. And, that's all you can do. And they're definitely in play for the NFC West and potentially the number 1 seed. Sam Darnold's playing really well. I mean, last game wasn't a great example, but he's playing really well, and they sit at number 2. And finally, back at number 1 again, you got the New England Patriots. They are able to take care of business against the New York Giants on Monday Night Football. And that's actually kind of an impressive thing they did because the Giants are not a good team, but they do put up a fight in every single game. And they even kind of did it in this game. But the Patriots, they were in full control of the game. They were never really in doubt to win this game. Good for them. You can't take away anything from an opponent despite who they play. And the Patriots, they've won 10 in a row, and currently they're the 1 seed. And if they can beat out the Denver Broncos and the let's see, who else will be in contention? The Broncos, the Jags now, the Colts. I feel like those are the teams that are also contending for the 1 seed. If they can just beat all those teams out for the 1 seed, they'll have home field advantage, and that would be huge for them. And yeah, they're at number 1. They are the best record. They are the best team, in my opinion. And yeah, congratulations, Patriots. You're back to being good again after like 2 years of sucking. So, like, hooray. And there you have it. Here are all the teams that are on the power rankings in the order that they're in. And yeah, as I say in every video, there's always teams that I feel like should be on here, but just can't be on here because I can only put 10 teams. I feel like the Bills could have been on here, but I feel like they've been a little too up and down to put on here. I could have put the Panthers on here, but I mean, also the same reason as the Bills, just because, they're too up and down. I'm trying to think of anyone else. You could put maybe I could have left the Colts or the Eagles on here, but I feel like since they both lost 2 games in a row, I feel like it's not really fair to put them on here. I feel like if you lose 2 games in a row, your team is not really playing that well. I mean, I could have put the Bucs on here. They're able to get back on track with a win against the Cardinals, but I feel like they didn't play that great in that game. It's just, there's probably a team or two I've left off, but like, you get the idea. It's just like, I gotta put the Chargers on here. That's another team. I could just go on and on. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry it's a little later than usual. I always try to do it on Tuesday, but I couldn't get it out until Wednesday. But, better late than never. And I will have NFL predictions for Week 14 out on Thursday. So tomorrow. So if you're wanting to watch that, stay tuned for it. And if you're not, that's all right. And I will see whoever wants to watch that video in that video. So yeah, peace out.